Hello ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, this is Megneous and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft Dinosaurs. Now I realize that there are lots of trees planted around here, but that's part of our project, so don't worry about it quite yet. However, for this project we're going to need a little bit more than the stuff that we have here. We need some glowstone, so that's what we're going to go get. We're going to jump into the nether, we're going to go get some glowstone. And I'm going to talk all about wonderful space news as well as talk about Pachycephalosaurus today. But first we're going to have to hope that we don't die in the nether, since I really don't come here very often. Gas scared the bejesus out of me. And get into that glowstone. I'm trying to stop the lava. It's clearly not working very well, but let's see if we can get over here to this glowstone without getting killed by a ghast. I think it'll be okay. Don't have a silk touch pickaxe, but that's okay. I don't mind. I can always put it back together despite this being horribly inefficient. Oh well, we don't need that many of them. I wonder if fortune picks give more of this. Why don't you just go? Get out of here. Oh well, it's good enough for me. We're probably not going to need that many of these. What we're trying to build are redstone lamps, and I cannot make those without glowstone, so here we go. Ooh, that's nice and close, very nice. So the thing that I want to build today, or at least begin building, is the beginnings of a path, because generally I'm terrible at making paths. However, recently I decided to try out a design that I found on the internets, and I think it looks pretty decent, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna build that. However, for that we need wood. We need oak wood, oak logs, not planks mind you, logs. We need oak leaves, we need brick, and we need glowstone lamps. We also need some redstone torches, but I'm pretty sure I can make those no problem, so we're just gonna go ahead. And now that we have 64 of this glowstone dust, we're gonna leave. So goodbye Nether, hope I never have to see you again. Alright, and now we're back, so let's go ahead and talk about the space news. The Pachycephalosaurus stuff will come soon, no worries my friends. Oh, I think actually I can build this here, can't I? Yes, I can! Alright, very nice. Oh, that didn't work at all. Try this again. There we go, 1621. That should be plenty, so let's go ahead and turn this. Do I have my redstone on me? I don't think I do. Here it is. Alright, there we go. So the space news, as many of you may have noticed if you guys have been paying attention to the things that I say somewhat frequently, I think I talk about it in lots of series actually. However, very soon, probably around March 15th I believe, I'm not sure if that's the exact date, I just know that it's soon, it's very soon. Coming up soon, 15, alright, that's good enough for me. Do I have any sticks? I do have sticks, marvelous. Do I have any more redstone? I do have some redstone. Alright, very good. Not a whole lot of redstone, though. But very soon, probably around March 15th, we're going to be able to check out a new Falcon 9 launch. And the important thing about this Falcon 9 launch is not its payload, mind you. No, its payload is pretty insignificant. It's pretty normal. Its payload is just another satellite. It's, whatevs, I don't even really care about the satellite. What I care about is the first stage. Okay, I think we have almost everything that we need. Let's go ahead and cut down this wood. This shack is finally being torn down because I need its wood for other things. But the first stage of the Falcon 9 already has landing legs installed on it. If you would like to see a picture of that Falcon 9 with its landing legs installed, please click on the link in the video description below, because it looks awesome! But it's going to be, hopefully, doing a soft landing in the ocean, which means that they're not going to reuse the Falcon 9 first stage, probably. Oh, wonderful rain! Wonderful. Thank you, rain. It's not like I wanted to do anything productive today. No. But they're not going to be reusing the Falcon first stage. They're going to be hopefully just recovering it and putting it in a museum after they... Well, not a museum, in their, like, display room after they check it out with lots of wonderful instruments to see how much damage it takes and stuff like that. But needless to say, thankfully, As long as they can get the first stage down into the ocean without destroying itself or possibly causing damage to nearby structures, they will probably get permission to try to land it on land. So this is sort of a very important moment for SpaceX and for space in general. So hopefully that will all work out, and soon we will be able to see a completely reusable first stage of the Falcon 9. I don't know if that's going to happen this time. SpaceX currently estimates that the chances of succeeding are maybe around 30%, which is quite low. And certainly better than the 10% they gave last time they tried this. Is that enough wood for now? Yeah, it's basically enough for now. Certainly hope it gets to be dark soon, because I freaking hate whenever it rains! Can I go to sleep now? That would be wonderful. No, I can only sleep at night. Sigh. Well, let's see, where do I want my path? Let's see. This is as good a place as any, I suppose, to start our path. It needs to be somewhat nearby, so that it can go in front of our home. I want it to go, definitely I want it to go to our Sabercat enclosure, because the Sabercat enclosure is definitely like one of the primary things that I'm proud of building. It looks pretty nice. So probably we're gonna have to grab our diamond shovel and do some landscaping. Oh, the rain. Sigh. It'll be fine, Megneous, don't worry about the rain. It's just loud and obnoxious and distracts you from talking about news. But yes, so the Falcon 9 launch is coming up. It has landing legs on it. Hopefully those landing legs will stop the craft from spinning on the way down. And hopefully that will make it easier for it to not run out of fuel as the fuel is centrifuged. And that means that maybe they will be able to have enough fuel to land appropriately. Soft water landing on water. I hope. Maybe. We'll see about that. Do I have to take off this entire level? I bet I do. Alright. Alright. Whatever. Landscaping for the win. Other news, in addition to our space news, is that we are going to be speaking about the Pachycephalosaurus stuff, which lots of you suggested. However, Brianna Albright is the one who mentioned it most recently, and I thought that I would give them a little shout out. A few other people did as well, apologies. No, that's not what I wanted to do at all. That is unfortunate. Alright, fix that. Sigh. So we're going to be talking about Pachycephalosaurus. Now, Pachycephalosaurus is a creature that I'm sure you all know that I love dearly. It's my favorite dinosaur. So it's not that I was trying to avoid talking about it, it's just that I want to talk about things that you guys want to hear about, not specifically about dinosaurs that I like. So Pachycephalosaurus has come up, lots of people have talked about it, so we're going to talk about it. It generally existed during the late Cretaceous period, which is about 65, 67 million years ago. That's when the Cretaceous period ended. So, you know, maybe it existed for something like 5 to 10 million years before that. That range. Somewhere in there. It basically existed also in North America. It doesn't have fossil remains from anywhere else. In fact, the primary species of Pachycephalosaurus is called Pachycephalosaurus wyomingensis, or something like that, because apparently it was found in Wyoming. Which is sort of awkward, because really there's nothing to find in Wyoming, but hey, what do you know, there are Pachycephalosaur remains there. Cool stuff. Congratulations, Wyoming, that's probably one of the few things you're known for. Oh, this rain is... I'm sorry, this rain is just driving me crazy. I just can't. I can't do it. Get rid of the rain. Go away. Go, please. I can't hear myself think. Ah. Oh, sweet silence. Wonderful. Alright. So, How are we gonna do this? Maybe I should just use brick stairs to get up here. Maybe that would work. I bet it would. Alright, so let's go ahead and try to do this. I need my brick, first of all. I've never tried this on this world before, so I'm not really sure how it's going to look. I'm gonna go ahead and leave all of these trees here so they can do the wonderfulness of growing. And hopefully the stuff will end up looking somewhat decent. Is that good? I think that's everything. And we'll put these here as well. I definitely need some more redstone. Kudos to the person who said that I should have been picking up that redstone, because indeed I do need it now that I think of it. But before I didn't need it, so I just didn't know, man. I didn't know. I'm not going to do anything here for now. I'm going to connect that up later. Let's go ahead and go over this way. Yeah, so this can be the center. I'm going to make this the center. And these are going to be the two paths here. This is going to be the wood. And this is going to be the oak. So the oak leaves. Let's go ahead and switch this out. Put this here. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is going to be our redstone lamp. Put this here. Put this here. So that's lit up. Very nice. And sorry for not talking more about Pachycephalosaurus. The focus, my friends. Okay, that's good. Now let's go ahead and add in the wood. I'm so bad at building, I don't even know what I'm doing. Having to look up things on the internet. And let's put our oak leaves. Hopefully the grass will grow under those. If it doesn't, then that's a problem. I like this. I really like the way this path looks. I just hope that the grass can grow underneath these. We'll see. I'll fix it out later if it can't. I like this. I like this a lot. I definitely like the glowstone lamp. Very nice. Well, either way, the Pachycephalosaurus lived in the late Cretaceous period and Wyoming, North America. As far as we know, it seems to be the only species of its genus, although there are other genusi, I don't know, man. I'm gonna go ahead and go to sleep since it's currently nighttime. Don't want any creepers or anything spawning. But there's sort of a... You may have noticed whenever I talk about dinosaurs, I say that this is the only known species, or best known species of its genus. Generally, a genus is a group of creatures which are most similar to one another, except for species being unique in a breeding population. And, well, there just aren't that many genuses that are very similar to Pachycephalosaurus. There are like maybe 3. Oh, hello, Mr. Enderman. You can take that block, that's fine. I don't really want it. Go ahead, do your thing, do your thing. Just gonna go ahead and do this landscaping right now and go ahead and... I'll have to cut this out of the way. This is going to get in the way for sure. But yeah, so Pachycephalosaurus Wyomingness, I don't even know how to pronounce it. That's the only known species of its genus. And there are all sorts of wonderful controversies surrounding my favorite dinosaur. Mostly about its head. For those of you who didn't already know, if you're new to the series, Pachycephalosaurus is the dinosaur, which we actually have one way over there, named Amber, which has sort of a bony plate on its head. Now, this plate can be quite thick. It can be anywhere to, what, 10 inches, I believe? Yeah, 10 inches thick. Approximately, what is that, 25 centimeters thick? So needless to say, this thing is definitely not as thin as you would think any other one's skull is. Indeed, it's much thicker than our skull. And this has led to all sorts of wonderful theories about how it used the skull. Why does it have this skull? Oh, what do you know? It's going to be right here. Why did it have this skull? And one of the leading theories for the longest time was that it used it for sort of like male aggression displays during mating times, such as deer, when deer run their heads into each other and stuff like that. I've talked about this before on this series, but never actually as a discussion topic for the episode. That is not what I wanted to do at all. However, some other people have come up with some ideas that maybe it wasn't for that. Maybe it was for something else. I'm not exactly sure like what other theories there could possibly be, since there were all sorts of wonderful... Hello? There we go. All sorts of wonderful proof that it was indeed used for territorial displays or mating displays and stuff like that. Fighting with other males. And we'll get into that in just a moment. However, we'll talk first, because it leads evidence to this fact, that there are indeed some other things that look sort of like Pachycephalosaurs, which have been discovered before in North America. And what... 1, 2, 3, 4... And what they seem to be... I'm way too distracted while I'm building. There's some controversy over whether or not they are different species of Pachycephalosaurs, or maybe they're just adult... Well, not adult, juvenile and female forms of the things that we've already seen, Pachycephalosaurs. And this leads credence, they believe, to the theory that they use the bony plates on their heads as sort of, you know, fighting with one another. The males, they fight one another over females, etc., etc. And the reason that this leads credence is that the fully grown, basically, we're pretty sure they're male specimens. Most of them have sort of like battle scars on their skull, like damaged bone, holes in their bone plates and things like that. And these particular damages and infections in the bone and stuff like that from healing and scar tissue isn't found in these other species, if they are different species. And that could be explained by the idea that these are not separate species, but just juvenile forms and female forms of the same dinosaur of Pachycephalosaurus. Now, if that were true, it would explain why there aren't any damages or any sort of marks or infections in the bone from fighting with other males, because basically juveniles don't really have interspecies combat. Females generally don't either. Usually it's only the males that fight over females. That's how it works in mammals, it works like that in birds, it works in that in reptiles, it works in that in basically every single thing that we've ever found in the animal kingdom. So, including some kinds of fish. Alright, I basically want to go all the way to here. Huh. This is going to sort of make our home look sort of questionable, but I guess we can go ahead and just do this all the way here. Yeah, let's do that. And we'll just go around our chest for now. No worries about that. Is there any other stuff? Oh yes, the names of those smaller species, by the way, if they are separate species or juvenile forms, are Dracorex, I don't even know, and Stygimoloch. I seriously have no idea how to pronounce these things, but whatever. I have no idea, neither do you, and that's okay. I have no issues with this whatsoever. And kerplop. Alright, that's good. And let's see, we need... This is 1, this is the 3, and this is... Here we go. Maybe we should make this one facing this way as well. Like that. Maybe? Does that look good? Let's test it. Is there anything else that I forgot to mention? Oh yeah, of course, the size! Alright, so Pachycephalosaurus was pretty big. It wasn't as big as the other things that we've run into, though, in our series, talking about dinosaurs and stuff. 3, 4... Ah, very good, so that's a perfect... Where is our... Oh, we don't even have it. Alright, so we need to get our pickaxe. But it is smaller than the other things we've usually talked about. However, it's not really that small. So we're going to go ahead and, let's see, it is 4.5 meters long, about, which is 15 feet. So about 2.5 of me, something like that, stacked on top of one another. That would be approximately equal to a Pachycephalosaur. There we go. And where... There are redstone lamps, put that in. Boop. Very nice. And for its weight... Oh, I didn't want to do that. Oh, I didn't want to do that. There we go. We have plenty of oak leaves, no problem. And the basic weight of the Pachycephalosaurus is somewhere around 450 kilograms, which seems quite heavy. It's about 990 pounds. But again, compared to the other things that we've run into during our series, not that big. I mean, Spinosaurus over there is freaking huge, much larger than Pachycephalosaurus, as you can tell both in-game and from fossil records. Let's see, we're almost out of time, but I want to keep going for a while because we haven't really done a whole lot. Am I missing anything? I don't think so. Yeah, that's about basically all we know about Pachycephalosaurus, because Pachycephalosaurus is a strange creature and we don't really know that much about it or the other species that may comprise its genus. Who knows? Not a whole lot of information. Not a whole lot of evidence either. Not a whole lot of fossil records to go on. What other things are there to talk about? We could talk about recent news with Russia and the Ukraine. As you guys may have noticed, I played some Minecraft with Russian people, which was pretty freaking awesome playing Minecraft with them, and we had a lot of fun playing Minecraft. In fact, we're probably gonna... Oh, crap, I didn't want to do that. There we go. We're probably going to do it again sometime. I don't really know when, but indeed I did play Minecraft with some Russian YouTubers. Some of them were larger than me, actually, which was surprising. And I've noticed that I got a pretty big bump in subscribers from Russian people coming over here, and I'm very sorry to those of you who speak Russian and want me to speak Russian, because I actually cannot speak Russian at all, so I hope that you can speak English if you stick around. No. Plop. But speaking of Russia and our Russian friends, Russia recently has thought that it would be a great idea to invade the Ukraine. If you guys don't know what Ukraine is a country which used to be a member of the Soviet Union. If you guys don't know what the Soviet Union is, I don't really know what to tell you. It's sort of like Russia plus a lot of other Slavic countries that used to be one big country known as the Soviet Union. It broke up into pieces, and Ukraine was one of those pieces. And Russia, due to Ukraine currently being in a crazy protest and sort of craziness going on in their country in general, it seems that Russia thought it would be a great idea to invade the Ukraine and take over a part of Ukraine called Crimea. Crimea? I don't know how to pronounce it. I don't speak Russian or Ukrainian, actually. And I don't know, it's sort of causing a lot of international dispute at the moment. A lot of people are really upset about this. And if you guys aren't, I understand, because a lot of you are quite young, but just trust me on this when I say that it's sort of a really big deal that a lot of people are really upset about. We're not going to go into, like, too many details about it, because I obviously am not Ukrainian, nor am I Russian, so I don't have all of the details either. And also my history is really bad. But apparently it appears that a whole lot of people in Crimea are, the C word, are ethnically Russian, and they sort of want to be a part of Russia, and Russia wants to protect them due to the protests and things like that. And basically the international community's not too happy about that. Now, personally, I don't really want to get involved in Russian politics because I'm not Russian, and I generally think that every country, including the Ukraine, has a right to determine their own destiny as a country. However, this does have sort of relevance to the space industry because, as you guys may know, the United States currently is paying SpaceX and Boeing and I think Sierra Nevada to develop a way to deliver American astronauts to the International Space Station, and that's taking a while, and it costs money and stuff like that, and of course SpaceX is not getting nearly as much money as I want them to. And one of the good things, if you can even call it a good thing really, about this whole Ukraine-Russian craziness is that it's making the US very uneasy, and it's making several other Slavic countries very uneasy about how Russia treats the countries near it. And Russia's always sort of been, you know, ever since the Cold War, is sort of something that America, you know, they're not really enemies, but they sort of have proxy wars and power plays and stuff like that all the time. And if they continue to do that, basically what's going to happen, I think, is that it's going to become politically questionable to offer money to Russia to try to send American astronauts to the International Space Station. And if that happens, what's essentially going to happen is that America needs to very quickly come up with a way to send American astronauts to the International Space Station. And if they do that, then probably that means giving more money to a company that's American in origin in order to hurry up the development of those space vehicles. And that means that maybe, due to all of this crazy nonsense, maybe, just maybe, SpaceX is going to get some more money to hurry up the development of the crewed Dragon. Which, to me, would be amazing, and that would make me very happy, and I would like that a lot. However, Russia would probably not like that a lot. In fact, I think Russia would probably take it as sort of a very negative thing, since we currently have paid on a contract for quite a long time to send astronauts to the space station on Soyuz rockets. So we will see what happens with that. I don't really know what's going to happen, but I hope that it's interesting. Well, I hope that it's interesting except for an all-out war, and I definitely wouldn't want Russia to completely take over Ukraine, but, because I have some Ukrainian friends who would not be very happy about that at all. But, I hope that, you know, at least some space advancement comes out of all of this craziness. Because other than that, I mean, it's just not a very good time right now in terms of international politics. Sure, let's do this. There we go. 55. Not bad, not bad. I'm good with that. So that's about all that I have to talk about today. I'm going to continue working on this path in the future, and we're going to go ahead and try to make the path nice and pretty so that we can walk around and visit our dinosaurs without having to walk around on dirt anymore, because we are not plebs. We are Minecrafters, and we demand pretty things. So I hope that you guys come back for next episode. We're probably going to try hatching something in the next episode. I put some DNA in the analyzers and stuff like that to get some DNA. Some stuff and some biofossils and meat to get some DNA, so we'll see what those turned into. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. My name is Megneous, and I will see you next time.